There's something I've been noticing recently, not in a life altering revelation kind of way, but quietly. It's called patterns. The way I respond to certain emails, the way my energy drops after specific conversations, the kind of books I reach for when I'm unsettled, the sentences I repeat in my journal when I am overwhelmed. None of this is shocking, but it is consistent. And consistency tells you something. When we talk about patterns, people often assume something is wrong, like we're about to diagnose ourselves, label ourselves, fix ourselves. That's not what this is. This is observation. There's a difference between saying, I always ruin things, and saying, I notice I withdraw when I feel uncertain. The first is judgment, the second is data. One closes the door, the other opens it. If you've been writing one page a day, you already have evidence. Go back a week, go back a month. You will see phrases that reappear, concerns that circle back, emotions that rise in similar situations. Not because you're broken, but because you are patterned. Every human being is. Reading helps with this too. When you encounter a character who keeps making the same relational mistake, you don't immediately condemn them. You notice it. You think, this again. You watch the pattern unfold. You feel its inevitability. You understand its roots. What if you extended that same narrative patience to yourself? The page is useful because it slows the moment down in real time. Patterns feel like personality. On paper, they look like repetition. And repetition is visible. For example, you might notice that every time you feel ignored, your writing becomes sharp. Or every time you feel uncertain, your sentences get shorter. Or every time something good happens, you downplay it within 3 lines. That's not a flaw, that's a map. Self-awareness without self-criticism requires one rule. Describe, don't evaluate. Instead of saying, I'm too sensitive, write, I notice I replay conversations when I feel dismissed. Instead of writing, I procrastinate because I'm lazy, write, I delay starting when I'm afraid I won't do it well. Do you see the shift? Precision replaces shame, and precision is powerful. Over time, something subtle happens. You begin to anticipate yourself, not in a cynical way, in a prepared way. You recognize the early signs of a mood. You note the tone of your thoughts changing. You see the familiar storyline forming before it fully takes over. And because you see it earlier, you have more choice. Not total control, but more choice than before. This isn't about becoming hyper-analytical. It's about becoming gently observant. There's a maturity in saying this is something I tend to do without adding, and that makes me inadequate. Patterns are not verdicts, they are information. And information, when approached calmly, becomes insight. If you've been here since the beginning, reading, writing, returning, you might already feel this shift. You react a little slower, you articulate a little more clearly, you catch yourself mid-thought sometimes. That's not transformation, that's awareness accumulating. So today when you write one page, try this. Instead of asking what's wrong with me, ask what tends to happen. Notice what repeats. Underline it. If you want, sit with it, not to solve, just to see it. Become an audience. Because here's the quiet truth: you cannot change what you refuse to notice. But once you notice it, gently, without attack, you're no longer trapped inside it. You're observing it. And observation is the beginning of freedom. If this practice is helping you see yourself more clearly, stay. The next few days, we'll go deeper, not into diagnosis, not into labels, but into understanding the inner patterns that shape how we read, write, and live. And once you begin to see those clearly, you won't want to stop looking.